And so the first thing I want to say is my first statement, okay, about living a spiritual life is that to really experience something spiritual in ourselves or in our world, we need to be integrated. We need to be integrated. So what does that mean? Integration. It means we need to be able to pull in every part of ourselves, our body, our mind, our feelings, our energy, our psyche. All these aspects to ourselves have to somehow align. See, the problem is that because of the experiences we've had in our lives, from 0 onwards, actually mostly between 0 and 20, right, has kind of set the pace for how we are now, right? And we are basically walking around with broken hearts, broken minds, broken bodies, right? We're kind of like a broken old car that needs a lot of work, like my car. You know, a 20-year-old car, you know, that needs a lot of work. You know, and sometimes we forget. We forget that we need a lot of work, but we do. We do. If we're really, really honest with ourselves, we would see. But it doesn't have to be work. If we talk about it and we think about it as integration, that's not work. It never is work. Right? So at different times in our life, we focus on different parts. You know, we kind of work on the body, you know, or we're working on our mind, or we're working on our emotions, you know, or we're working on our energetic aspects. You know, we kind of do bits and pieces, don't we? Yes, we might do 1 or 2 at the same time, but definitely not all. Right? And that's just because of, you know, what's happening for us as we evolve, right? Whatever part needs integrating is what will come up, right? So my first suggestion to you is, you know, like if something comes strongly for you, if you're going through a phase in your life where you're extremely emotional, don't ignore it. Don't think, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Do you know? It's happening for a reason. It's happening for a really good reason. It's happening because you need to work at that level, right? And you've got work to do there, you know? And so your job is to integrate that. Your job is to be present to whatever is coming, which is really, really hard to do. Whatever is coming, you have to be okay with it. But the problem is that we're generally not okay with it. Like if we're having an emotional day, it's a big bother, right? It's like, not today, please. I have to go and do blah, 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 blah. I need to be switched on. Do you know what I mean? We immediately put the brakes on. We immediately resist. We've got better things to do, right? More important things to do. You know? But what I'm going to say to you is that the most spiritual thing you can do is to be present to that experience of whoever you are in that moment, right? And it's the most difficult thing to do. Even though you might say to yourself, I'm going to do this. Whatever comes, I'm going to be present to it, you know what I mean? But you'll see, you'll fight. There'll be resistance. There's going to be fear and there's going to be doubt, and you're going to be thinking, oh, this, you know, you're not going to take yourself seriously. You know what I mean? You're going to deny yourself. You're going to use all the tactics that everyone else has used on you. Right? Of course. Right? And so the only thing you need to do is just stop. Honestly. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to theorize, you don't need to intellectualize, you don't need to spiritualize, as in like, I need to be a more compassionate person, I need to think about karma and emptiness. No, just stop. Just allow yourself to be. Right? No matter what. That's the challenge. No matter what. No matter who you're letting down. No matter who's going to miss out. You think maybe this process is going to last a day. Maybe only 5 minutes, because you allow it to be. And then it becomes a day because you didn't allow it to be. Right? But you won't know. You'll never know until you try. Until you do it. One of the most difficult things to do is to really allow yourself to experience yourself. What generally happens is we tend to experience ourselves through an intellectual process, an intellectualized process, right? Everything goes through the words. The filter of words, right? So instead of this experience going through the head, maybe you should think of it as the experience going through your body. It's what we would call a somatic experience, right? Which is scary for a lot of people. But I think I can tell you that doing it the intellectual way doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Because you are not doing a process of integration. Can you see why? Could you see why? Why you wouldn't be doing a process of integration if you just do it through your head? Because I ask you this question because I used to do this. And I used to think it was good. And I used to think it worked. You know? And it's so interesting how until someone shows you how to do it differently, you really don't know. You don't know what the difference is. You know? You don't know why one is deeper than the other, you know? But what does it mean? What does it mean to experience your world through your body rather than through your head? What does that mean?
Through your body it'd be raw emotion, so it'd be like a wave, and then you aren't controlling what's happening, you're experiencing what's happening.
Exactly.
And it's scary.
It's scary.
Because you can't have control.
No control. You give up control. Yeah. And it's very powerful. Right? It's very, very powerful. You may not be able to do it on your own. You may need someone to help you with that. Right? And that's okay. You know, there are a lot of people who are experienced at helping people through embodying, integrating whatever, you know, whatever is locked away. Remember I told you we have a lot of stuff. You know? And for as long as that stuff is just in your head, right? You'll never integrate it. And then here's the problem. You'll never really be able to live a spiritual life. Yeah? Because what did I say earlier? I said to live a spiritual life, you need to integrate. See, so otherwise you'd just be living your spiritual life through your head. Do you see what I'm saying? I am doing this now. I am doing that now. I am feeling this now. It's all head. If you're doing it somatically, there's no words. There's no I am. There's no describing to yourself what the experience is. Do you see what I'm saying? You just experience it. You don't need words. It's unnecessary. Wow. I bet everyone's thinking, wow, Lama Giselle's really talking funny, isn't she? Where's the karma and emptiness? I'm doing you a big favour. Let me tell you. You got to do this sooner or later, you know what I mean? Sooner or later you're going to hit this one. I'm doing you a favour. You got to get out of your head, you know? You got to integrate. You got a body. You got body, you got feelings, you've got thoughts, you know? Thoughts is just one part, you know? And the thing is, most of us live through our thoughts. And so we need to try and to integrate the process, you know? And it's scary. It's really scary. And it's because it's about once you allow the feeling or the you know, the experience kind of flow through you and not control it, then you are in control, right? Why? Because you will be able to integrate that experience rather than hold it at arm's length and look at it at arm's length. Do you know what I mean? You won't really learn anything that way, right? Yeah. So something has to go through you, right? So if you want to know whether you're experiencing something in your body, just ask yourself, how am I feeling? And if you hear your head going, describing, you'll know you're in your head, right? But if you hear yourself saying, I feel this pain in my heart, you know, I feel this sharp feeling in my heart, and I feel like there's a crushing feeling inside of me. This is my grief. My grief is this, you know, and it's terrifying, you know.